just give my Wi-Fi a second here. All right. Welcome, everyone, to another gameplay episode here at the Alien Investigations channel, a channel dedicated to the X-Files Collectible Card Game. I'm Steven, and we're coming at you with another matchup with the X-Files Collectible Card Game, though not your run-of-the-mill game of X-Files CCG, no, but rather a sealed gameplay event wherein my opponent and I will be opening sealed starter decks and booster packs and using the cards within the sorry, what happened with our window there? That was weird.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll just, I'll try to figure out it. Yeah. Our windows just went berserk for a moment. Anyway, though not your run-of-the-mill game of the X-Files CCG, no, but rather a sealed gameplay event wherein my opponent and I will be opening sealed starter decks and booster packs and using the cards within for the game. And I'm joined by Jonathan Hagy from Kentucky, my opponent for this matchup. Always a pleasure to square off with you, Jonathan.
A pleasure to be here. Good to see everybody.
We love sealed games, don't we, Jonathan?
Absolutely.
Yes, we do. We can't get enough of them. They're riveting. They're nail biters. Neither player knows what they're going to be investigating with until they crack open those packs and see what's inside. We're at the mercy of the fates. But after so many sealed fate games, Jonathan, some X-Files CCG fans find themselves wondering, is there a way to make sealed games even more exciting? The answer is yes. Making its debut on the Alien Investigations channel, I give you, fellow agents, the Wheel of Sealed, the X-Files CCG version. How do you like them apples, Jonathan?
It's going to be very interesting to see how these decks end up matching up.
That's right. The Iron Maiden, the Pillory, the Spiked Collar, Wind Chimes. These are just some of the many cruel devices and instruments of torture that history has given us. And now, for avid fans of the X-Files Collectible Card Game, we have maybe the cruelest contraption of them all, the Wheel of Sealed. And for those of you unfamiliar with the X-Files CCG, you might be wondering, what's with all the gloom and doom? Well, at a glance, this doesn't seem like such a perilous contraption, does it? What are the possible pitfalls of incorporating the ominous Wheel of Sealed into the proceedings? Tell the viewers, Jonathan, what's the catch?
Well, we're going to spin this wheel to determine whether we get a premier deck or a Truth is Out There deck. And as people who have played this game know, there's a big difference in those decks. So you're hoping with that Truth deck, but you've got just as much odds getting the premier deck, which are terribly poorly correlated.
That's right. The risk lies with the Premier Edition starters and boosters, for they were not properly collated. You could pull a bureaucracy team from a Premier starter deck, and then you'll find yourself with a whole bunch of medical sites and alien investigation sites and occult investigation sites that they have absolutely no hope of successfully investigating. And on top of that, you have the Premier Edition booster packs, which on very many occasions, it's pretty commonplace for a player to crack open a Premier Edition starter, or I'm sorry, a Premier Edition. It's very common for a player to crack open a Premier Edition booster pack, and out of the 15 cards found within a Premier Edition booster pack, 9 of them are non-playable X-File cards, and only 6 of them can actually be used in making your bureau deck. So that is where the risk lies here, because as you can see, we have an equal amount of Premier Edition starters and Truth is Out There Edition boosters. Or I'm sorry, we have an equal amount of Truth is Out There Edition starters and an equal amount of Premier Edition starters on this wheel. So there's a pretty good chance that either Jonathan or myself, or both of us, might wind up having to work with a Premier Edition starter for this matchup. Ideally, we'll get a Truth Is Out There edition starter, and we'll have a team that's actually that can actually work with the cards that are included in the decks. They are built for straight out of the box gameplay. They're better built for straight out of the box gameplay compared to the Premier Edition ones. That's why we have the Truth Is Out There edition, because the first edition just didn't cut it. And so that's why we're hoping when we spin this wheel, we'll both get the Truth Is Out There edition starters. But I don't know, Jonathan. I feel like the odds are we're gonna wind up, at least one of us is probably gonna wind up with the Premier Edition starter. Am I right?
That's what the odds say.
Yeah. And so not only are we going to be spinning the wheel for our starter, I'm also going to have us spin the wheel for two booster packs each. And with the booster packs, we could be looking at Premier Edition. We could be looking at Truth Is Out There second edition. We could also be looking at the 1013 expansion. So we got a lot of possibilities there. But obviously, first things first, we got to spin for our starter deck, because that's where our team of agents is going to be found. So, Jonathan, are you ready to spin the wheel of sealed?
I'm ready.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and spin it for you, because you're all the way over in Kentucky, so you're going to have a really hard time spinning the wheel. So I'll go ahead and do it for you. Is that all right?
That sounds good.
All right, let's let it roll. I was afraid some of these boxes were about to go flying. And Jonathan, you are in luck, because you are going to be playing with a Truth Is Out There edition starter. So congrats on that, my friend. And because I didn't have time to actually go through and number all of these, Jonathan, you can just decide randomly whether you want to have a starter with Mulder or Scully. You can randomly choose. You can pick which one you want, because you lucked out. There's an upside to having a Truth Is Out There edition starter, is because they're numbered on the back. They're numbered 1 through 6.
We can add a few to it. I've got a 5 and a 6.
All right. Well, yeah, like I said, you can just randomly decide. You can flip one up. I don't care. Yeah. And
Well,
so, yeah, the Truth Is Out There edition starters, they're numbered 1 through 6. And all the odd numbers, 1, 3, and 5, mean that you're going to be playing with a team that has Fox Mulder on it. And 2, 4, and 6 mean you're going to be playing with a team that has Scully on it. So one way or the other, Jonathan's team is going to have either Mulder or Scully. That's not the case with the Premier Edition ones. Invariably, you might pull a team that doesn't have either agent on there. And that was another complaint about Premier Edition, is that people weren't getting Mulder and Scully when they opened those decks. And, you know, this is X-Files. You got to have them in there. So now I'm going to spin the wheel for myself, and fingers crossed, I'll also land on a Truth Is Out There edition starter. But the wheel is sealed. Let's see what the fates have in store. And oh goodness, Jonathan, just barely.
It only actually kicked back. I think before you look back, it actually kicked back a tad.
So close. So unfortunately, I'll be using a Premier Edition starter for my game. So already, that alone, you already have a slight advantage going into this game, Jonathan. Just a slight one. But you know what? I'm sure you're like, it probably puts us on equal footing, because we have a pretty one-sided record between our games. How many games have you bested me in, Jonathan?
1.
And honestly, I don't even remember that game. I don't recall. I was like, but your memory is probably better than mine, because I've played. Well, this is according to my title for this. This is episode 120. So obviously, that many games is really hard to keep track of them. So now I'm removing the starters from the wheel of sealed, and now I'm adding the booster packs on there. And as I said earlier, we've got the possibility of Premier Edition booster packs, Truth Is Out There second edition packs, and of course, 1013 expansion ones. Jonathan, which of these is most ideal in a sealed game of X-Files CCG?
Oh, I would definitely go for the 1013 cards.
You would definitely go for the 1013? Yes, that is an excellent. That's an excellent option. And what might be some of the reasons why you would want to land on a 1013 booster pack?
Well, I would say the biggest reason is every card in those packs is going to be different from the starter deck. So you've got completely different cards to choose from. And then with the Premier, there's no chance of pulling any useless X-Files cards. The only part from the other two really would be they're very ultra rares.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ideally, you don't want to have. Ideally, if you're playing a sealed gameplay event, Premier Edition boosters aren't necessarily the best option, but they are obviously available in the greatest abundance because there are about 80 million of them printed by United States Playing Card Company back in 96 and 97. So they're obviously what you can most find, almost 30 years later, compared to the second edition and the 1013 expansion. They are out there, but just not in the same amount of quantity. But in addition to what Jonathan was saying, the other reason why you would want to have a 1013 expansion booster pack for a sealed gameplay event is because there's a chance you might wind up pulling an agent that you could incorporate into your team, because sometimes the agent team you're working with may not be great, especially in my case, considering I'm going to be working with a Premier Edition team. If I should get a 1013 expansion booster or two for my game, that would be great, because maybe I might pull Detective Manners, I might pull Fred Nemhauser, I might get Clyde Brookman, I might get Danny Pendrell, might get Bill Patterson, and heck, even Kresge would be great, because then I could maybe switch around some of my agents and see what best works with the sites that I'm pulling. So yeah, 1013 is the best option for sealed gameplay if you can get your hands on it. And if you want to find out more about this, you can check out my buyer's guide for X-Files CCG for beginners. That is a video you can find on my channel for more information about that. But without further ado, Jonathan, let's go ahead and we'll spin for your two boosters. All right.
Sounds good.
Here's for the first one. What's it going to be? What is Jonathan going to be working with? His first booster pack is going to be a Premier Edition one, Jonathan. Oh, so sorry, my friend. But that's just one. That's just one. You're going to get another one because we're each going to be working with two booster packs for this game. And here's the second one, Jonathan. We have a Truth is Out There edition booster for your second one. Not too bad. All told, you got a Truth is Out There edition starter. You got a Truth is Out There edition booster. And yeah, you got a Premier one. But hey, you might get lucky. It might have some you might actually have some decent cards in that. So we'll see what happens. Before you get to cracking those, let me go ahead and spin for mine. Good Lord, I already got a Premier Edition starter. So ideally, Premier is the only thing I'm not going to be drawing. What's it going to be? Oh, gosh. It is not looking good for me at all. So I'm going to be including a Premier Edition booster on top of my Premier Edition starter. So this is not a great start at all, but come on, Neil. This is why it's a cruel instrument of torture. And my last one is, oh man, this is terrible. This is terrible. So it's all Premier on my end here. So, Jonathan, you're in pretty good standing by comparison, my friend. So I'm gonna bring it. Oh, your camera's already in. So let's bring your camera up to the forefront so everyone can see what's in your packs that you're opening now. So go ahead and start with your starter. Your Truth is Out There edition starter, that is. And what number did you pick?
Number 5.
Number 5. Excellent. So that means you're going to have Fox Mulder on your team. Crack that baby open. That was a lot of fun. And while Jonathan's doing that, I want to welcome the live viewers who are tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in for this live broadcast. And please feel free to comment in the live chat. Audience participation is always welcome. And I want to welcome Deanne 625, who's joining us, I believe for maybe the first time. She says, I'm completely new to the game and just brought my first pack. Congratulations, Deanna. And she says, I appreciate you all teaching how to play. You've come to the right place for that, Deanne. I will certainly be talking us through the phases for this game, because there are 7 phases in each round. And, Jonathan and I know them by heart. But because this is a live, unedited version of the game that we're bringing you here, so yeah, it doesn't hurt to talk through each component of it, and it keeps us on pace, keeps everything going smoothly. You don't want to go too fast through the rounds, because that's when mistakes can happen. You might miss a card that you were supposed to play in a particular phase and might bypass that altogether. But yeah, we'll talk through it. And Jonathan, do you have your shrink wrap open yet?
I do.
All right. So yeah, you do have a team with Mulder, and it looks like Phoebe Green is going to be one of your agents. So, which is great because her game effect is specific to Mulder. Who else do you have there?
Agent Rich. And then there's Fox Mulder himself and Agent Weiss.
Agent Weiss. Excellent. So your team is pretty strong in subterfuge. They're really good in observation. And I think with Phoebe Green, are you good? Are you good on sciences? I know you've got at least 3 sciences. 4 would be even better.
2 sciences.
2 sciences? Okay.
She's real good on criminal investigation and observation.
Well, Mulder should have some sciences as well. But I think he's only got 1.
Let's see. They've got 3 total on sciences.
Right on. And so it looks like, your strongest skills are going to be criminal investigation, evidence collection, observation, and you're pretty good on subterfuge because you got Agent Weiss and Agent Rich. Everyone but Phoebe Green is bringing subterfuge to this as well. So you should have enough to do at least 4, I would hope. But if not, you can definitely do 3. All right. But yeah, so ideally, Jonathan, most of the sites that you're going to be pulling from your starter deck, as well as your 2 booster packs, will have either criminal investigation, evidence collection, or observation, ideally. So what do you got in that deck?
Well, first 7 cards are X-Files. And then we've got Broad Street, Philadelphia, which is criminal investigation. Coast of Northwest Oregon, which is alien. Lake Okoboji, which is alien. Newark, New Jersey, which is evidence. Cumberland Prison, which is subterfuge. Fairfield, which is observation. Right there. Containment facility, Georgetown, Maryland, observation. With Hagy and Marion, which is behavior. CR, Norway, observation. Franklin, PA, investigation. Stevenson, behavior, and that gets aside. Which luckily, no idea with. I don't have to do much to figure it out. Then we get our witnesses, which are pretty commonplace with Sheriff's officer, who had criminal investigation, announced alien investigation. Doug speaking, he adds 1 to sciences, and Gary Thomas that adds 1 to observation. And then we get some equipment, which I'll just a moment what they do. Wire tape, lie detector, binoculars. All of these, there are these 3. They enhance the skills, basically all those sites for those agents that are already strong in those characteristics. When we get to events, I want to leave, backtracking program, evidence of crop circle, equipment function, local law enforcement or uncooperative, X-Files research, government wipes. Get to some of our blood. Detective Ryan, Sheriff Daniels, Dr. Belushi, Holtzman, DSA, The Conundrum, Dr. Aaron Monty, and our adversary, Slithers at Night, Private Health and Safety, Good People, Good Food, Squeeze, Suppressed Fury, Ceremonial Psychosis. And that gets banned. Then over to the unbanned. Oh, here we go. Epimaculata outbreak.
Oh, that's a rare.
Dr. Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Combat First Den Kit. Walker PPK. 65 Holden. Detective Miles. We have another student. Event Drive. Good People, Good Food. Combat Target Run. And a Remington. So yeah, that's the deck. Did we go ahead with boosters before you?
Yep. Let's go. Yeah, go ahead and open them all. Crack them open.
All right, I'll start with the worst first. See how many X-Files I pulled out of this booster.
And yeah, feel free to pre-select your X-File from your collection if you feel so inclined, or you can select your face-down X-File card from whatever you pull from your starter, or potentially this booster pack.
So we got wiretap, gas chromatograph, core training, travel arrangements. Here we go.
And here they are.
Take
the non-playable X-File cards that you can't use.
4, 5.
5. Okay. 5's not bad. A lot of times it's 9.
And we got Sheriff Daniels, Peter Tanaka, sinus cavity implants, and some decent gloves. Dr. Sheila Braun, combat withdrawal, cold.
There's your rare. Okay. Very nice.
Those aren't bad.
Yeah, that could have been worse. As premier booster packs go, that one wasn't terrible. You got another Sheriff Daniels out of it, so you've got 2 Sheriff Daniels bluffs already. So I hope my team is decent on subterfuge.
All right, here we go. The truth booster. We got SWAT training, combat kick, relentless pursuit.
Oof,
that's a good one.
Yes.
Don't add one, which is
no good.
useless.
Sciences.
You can just throw that now. Gas photograph, another combat card,
Hide's good. Ambush. That's a good one for that team.
Psychiatric Hospital Richmond. That's useless.
Yeah. You got 1 computer, I think, from Weiss, and that. Oh no, I think Rich has some computer, but not enough to make 4.
He has 1, and Weiss has 1.
Yeah, you need like a couple of buyers is to get you that 4 computer skill check. Well, oh, you got first aid. You got some good combat cards going there.
Oh, here we go. Cigarette Man Strike.
If you can afford it.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a good strike.
Then we got Tracking Killer. That's criminal investigation. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Then we got Ellen's Air Force Base.
Not so good.
That's bureaucracy.
You don't have any.
I don't think I have. Yeah, I might have 4 maybe. But
all right. Well, yeah, not a bad pack. You definitely had some good combat cards. I'm definitely going to be mindful of some of those adversaries you got there.
Yeah. Now we got the Mechanic, Fairmont, Psychosis, Darkness Falls.
Excellent. Okay, so now that Jonathan's cracked his open, he's going to start working on assembling his deck. And while he's doing that, I'm going to crack open my very premier heavy deck that I'm working with. And when I say premier heavy, it is all premier. The Wheel of Sealed was very, very unkind to me. I should have slipped it a C note before we got started, but maybe I'll do that next time, and maybe I'll fare a little bit better. But hey, all is not lost. Maybe fortune might smile, and I might actually pull some decent cards from this cluster of premier cards. And now that I've cracked it open, I can already see that my team is going to be a Mulder one because I have 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, and 𝐗-𝐁 is definitely a good agent to have on a team that has Mulder because he can pay for alien investigation and occult investigation sites. And there you have it. I've got Agent Mulder joining 𝐗-𝐁e𝐿. I do like working with those two because you want to go heavy on alien investigation sites when you have these two agents on your team. Let's see who else is on there. I should have 𝐗-𝐁e𝐿 in here somewhere. I've got Agent Lucy Kasdan, who's also got some alien investigation skill going for her. Her effect isn't very great, and I don't recall, Jonathan, I don't think you pulled any abduction adversaries, did you?
I don't think so.
I didn't recall seeing any, so her effect is not going to be applicable to this game then. And my last agent is Karen 𝐗-𝐁e𝐿. So that's my team right there. So their strongest is in alien investigation. Between Mulder and 𝐗-𝐁e𝐿, they do have enough occult investigation, and 𝐗-𝐁e𝐿 can pay for occult investigation sites. So that's a really good skill set. We're also looking pretty good in sciences. 𝐗-𝐁e𝐿 has one, Mulder has one, and oh no, actually I'm not very good in sciences after all because I've only got two. But it's okay because Jonathan did not pull any unexplainable time losses or anything like that. We're also good in criminal investigation, of course. Behavioral is very good. Mulder, Kasdan, and Karen 𝐗-𝐁e𝐿 each have 3 behavioral. So behavioral is my strongest skill, actually. After that, alien investigation, and then criminal investigation. Evidence is good as well, and observation is good. And Karen 𝐗-𝐿 can actually pay for keyword observation behavioral and keyword observation. Or Karen 𝐗-𝐿 can pay for keyword behavioral and observation sites, which is great. So yeah, this is good. So with those two, with 𝐗-𝐁e𝐿 and Karen 𝐗-𝐿 being able to chip in and pay for cards that have those keywords, that should really cut down on how much resources I'm having to spend for my resource pool in order to pay for cards. So I do like this team. I don't usually pull this team when I'm opening Premier boosters. A lot of times I get saddled with a bureaucracy team, which is, it has a lot of shortcomings. So I'm actually really happy with this team. It's alien investigation heavy. Yeah.
That was good for Premier. That was good for Premier starter.
Yeah, I would have rather have hosting instead of Kasdan because hosting's got a very desirable effect. But that aside, I can't complain. I'm actually very happy with this. So we'll have to see though. We'll have to see what sites I pulled and whether or not my agents have the skills to investigate the sites. And already, the first few sites in my deck are looking good. I've got Olympic National Forest, which is evidence. I've got Coastal Northwest Oregon, alien investigation, very good. And I've also got Lake Okoboji, very good site for this team. Got Arlington, Virginia, occult investigation. We are looking good. Observation coming from Fairfield Zoo. I do have enough. No, actually, yeah, I have 4 observations, so I can do that site. That's also great. Marion, Virginia, behavioral 4. Behavioral is my strongest skill. This is looking very good. Franklin, PA, criminal investigation. It's looking good. Browning, Montana. Yes, that's occult investigation. We now have some multi-sites going on here. NASA Mission Control is going to be tricky because it's sciences 5 and observation 5. I can't quite do 5 observation with this team. I would need some help from either equipment or witnesses to pull that one off. So not sure I'll include that one. And we'll have to see what sort of buffs I can get, what sort of buff cards I can get to include that one. We've got 𝐗-𝐁e𝐿 House, which is another multi-site, offers subterfuge or behavioral 5 as a prerequisite. And again, I'm really strong in behavioral, so that one's definitely being included. And Farmington, New Mexico, alien investigation. It's excellent. And let's see, this rest of the sites. I've got another Lake Okoboji campsite. So alien investigation. Newark, New Jersey, evidence collection. I can do that. Genetics clinic. is probably not going to get included because it's medical. Lucy Kasdan and Karen Kosov each have one medical, but that's not enough to investigate that one. So that one's probably going to be excluded from there. And let's see. We have another Olympic National Forest, another Arlington, Virginia. And unfortunately, I've got a third Lake Okoboji, and you can only have a max of 2 copies of any card in your deck. And so, unfortunately, while I can investigate this site, 2's the max. So that one's unfortunately going to be excluded. So it's weird that, I mean, I say it's weird that that 3 copies of a card would get included in a 60-card starter deck, but that's Premier Edition for you. And I got another genetics clinic, which is medical, so that one's out because, again, my team is not strong enough to do medical. And I got a subterfuge site from Cumberland Prison, which is unfortunately not going to be ample for this team. I've only got 2 subterfuge, so that one's out. And finally, Mount Avalon, Washington, Sciences 4, and unfortunately, I can't use that one because it's Sciences 4, and I've only got 2 Sciences from my team. But by and large, there were quite a few sites that I could work with in here. I had to exclude 6 of the 7. Yeah, 6 of them. 6 sites got excluded, but by and large, I had 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, a lot of this, most of the sites were good. So as Premier Edition starters go, it's not too bad.
Yeah,
that was not too bad at all. Yeah, I can't complain with that. All right, witnesses. We got Maggie Holvey, Occult Investigation, Gerd Thomas, Observation. That one, that Gerd Thomas, him in there has me considering keeping NASA mission control because he would be what I would need to get 5 observation, but of course he would still have to come up at the right time. We have Ish Tribal Elder, that's Occult Investigation. And you have Doug Spinney, that's Sciences, but that's still not going to be enough to get me a Sciences 4 skill check, so Spinney's out. And I'm going to welcome one of my coworkers at the library, Brian, who's tuning in from Richmond, Texas. Brian says, saw you streaming, just wanted to stop in and say hi. Thanks for tuning in, Brian. And I hope you have a good weekend. It's Friday after all. All right, so I'm going to just throw down the rest of my cards here so we can pick up the pace. So got Donnie Faster, Cigarette Butts, Suppressed Fury, Hunter in the Dark, Dwayne Barry, Dr. Berube, Hospital Crash Cart, Trust No One, Lula Phillips, Successful Diagnosis, Reporters at the Crime Scene. That one's out because it's a multiplayer card, and we're not doing a multiplayer game, Jonathan. There's just the 2 of us. Expedite Request for Resources, Paperwork, Clone, High-Powered Flashlight, Observation. This is a good one to have. Glock 19 Semi-Automatic Pistol, Walther PPK, Relentless Pursuit, The Swarm, Leonard Detachable Congenital Twin, Cecil Lively, X-Files Research, Written Report, Swarm, Eugene Victor Toombs, Howard Graves Poltergeist, Dr. Benton in His Shadow, Government Car, High Resolution Camera, Knife, I Want to Believe, and Medical Treatment. So again, not an all-around bad starter deck as Premier Edition cards go. I've seen worse, right?
Much worse. This would actually be considered good.
Yeah.
Premier starter deck. You know, my truth one, except for maybe more size, really wasn't any better.
All right, so I'm just separating my X-File cards from the starter deck because obviously they're non-playable. And I'm also taking out this Reporters at the Crime Scene because it has an activator of multiplayer. And so multiplayer only applies to X-Files CCG games with 3 players or more. And
we've never played
here. So, all right. That is my starter deck, and so I'll set those aside, and then I'll crack open my first of 2 Premier boosters, and I can already tell looking at the back of it, the silver seam right here. This is definitely a seam. This is not it. This is not going to contain an ultra rare. If anyone's curious about the possibility of pulling ultra rares tonight, as you saw, Jonathan didn't pull any from his, and I'm not going to get one from this one because, again, the ultra rares in Premier Edition are denoted by this silver, the silver strip here, the silver seam. If you don't see one on the back of the booster pack,
Get that.
a pretty good chance of pulling an ultra rare, and that is a secret hack you can find on a video that I have also recently put up on the channel a few weeks ago. And so, Jonathan, as I'm looking at the Premier Edition pack, this is actually a good Premier Edition pack, Jonathan. Look at that. Not a single X-File. As
You're going to be
Premier
the
Edition
only person to get all Premier stuff and end up with the deck better than what I'm doing.
It was not looking good when that wheel was coming up all Premier for me. But as I'm cracking open the packs, this is actually looking pretty good. I've got Marion, Virginia, which I think I might have already 2 copies in here, so I might have to exclude that one because, again, I can only have up to 2 copies of the card. Mayhem Propulsion Site, it's computer, so I can't work with that. A psychiatric hospital computer, can't work with that. Even though the sites are in this, even though there are sites in this booster pack, Jonathan, they're mostly sites I can't work with, like Cape Cod, that's sciences, also no good. Aubrey, Missouri, on the other hand, is behavioral. I can work with that, as I can with containment facility, that's observation. Government cover-up, Ghost in the Machine, poisonous gases, and a bunch of combat cards I got here. Hit and run, watch out, covering fire, internal bleeding. Section Chief Joseph McGrath, that's the rare, and that's a really good bluff to have. It's going to send Jonathan's team right back, or one agent on Jonathan's team back to the Bureau, and they're not going to be able to contribute to the skill check at that time, so that's a good bluff. And the last one in this pack is a Skyland Mountain. Unfortunately, it's subterfuge, and I can't do a subterfuge for skill check with this team, so that one's out. So out of this 15-card pack, the ones I'm definitely wanting to keep, yeah, there was actually about 11 cards in there. 11 out of 15 were good cards that can be used in my deck. That was a good pack. And I'm going to open my last Premier Edition pack now. And again,
you could
no ultra rare.
Use those sites that you can best to sell them.
I could sell them for speed, but I don't want to put too many in there, though, because if I put too many, I might oversaturate the deck with cards that I can't use. You got to be careful. Some of these resource cards that you don't necessarily feel you're going to be able to use in the deck, you could put some in there. Some are great, like Shotgun. You know, it's 60. You sell that for conspiracy points when you're the conspiracy player. Great, but you put too many in there, then you wind up pulling a hand that you can't work with. And again, Jonathan, I really did luck out in terms of not pulling a bunch of X-File sites. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Fates, for cutting me a break on that, considering this is
cruel as it could have been.
The wheel was cruel, but the X-Files CCG gods decided to show me some mercy. But let's see what I have here. I've got a bunch of sites. Not all of them are going to be applicable. Mattawa, Washington, unfortunately, is bureaucracy, so that's out. Another Marion, Virginia, and I think that's one too many Marion, Virginia sites, so I can only have up to 2. Another Mayhem Propulsion, another Psychiatric Hospital, another Cape Cod. I can't work with any of these. These are the same sites from the previous booster pack. But I did get another Aubrey, Missouri. I did get another containment facility. I'll have to double check to make sure I don't have more than 2, but at least some sites I can work with here. Another government cover-up, another Ghost in the Machine. Central Prison, that's a new one. So it's criminal investigation or occult investigation. I can work with either of them. Excelsius Day, same thing. Criminal investigation or occult. These are good sites. Stunning Blow, massive internal damage. Colonel Marcus Belt and Sheriff Mazeroski both can negate adversaries, so I will probably include them, knowing what Jonathan has in his. Actually, I don't think I need Colonel Belt because you did not pull a Deadly Blur. So He's out, but Mazeroski is in. And so there you have it. Jonathan, I can't complain.
No, that's as good as you can hope for from a Premier only pack of stuff.
Yep. So how many cards have you had a chance to assemble your deck, or are you still in the midst of
I'm pretty close. I mean, even if I include every card, I counted just to see. I'd only have 74 cards.
74 is not bad.
Yeah, that's even if I included the sites I couldn't use.
All right, and so now just if those tuning in, just bear with us real quick. We're just going to quickly. I just need to finish assembling my deck. Jonathan's probably pretty close to finishing his up, but yeah, I think we're going to be ready to go pretty soon. Yeah, I can't complain here. I got a pretty good deck here. Ideally, when you're playing a game of advanced X-Files CCG advanced gameplay, you want to have a minimum of 60 cards as per the rule book, and I think we're pretty safe on this. Grand total, we each opened up starters and boosters containing 90 cards each. So at worst, we whittle out 30 of them. We should be fine. So yeah, how you feel overall about your?
So those are non-playable. So the automatic X-Files card.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't. I can't disparage this deck at all. It's looking pretty good, and so I think we're in for an interesting matchup. So I'm going to just adjust my camera so we can see the whole playmat there. How's that looking, Jonathan?
It looks good.
Excellent. And I think we're almost set. I feel like I can do better with. That. All right.
Another thing that can fix eventually is this overhead glider.
What's that?
Eventually, this overhead glider. I've never been able to get rid of that.
Yeah, at some point. All right. So let me set all these aside that I can't use. All right. Just quick look to make sure there's anything I want to exclude from here. Okay. And I could still do better with that. Trying to make it as visible as possible so you can see the resource counter as well. Come on.
Now, did you pre-choose an X-File or picking it from the stuff you opened?
Yeah, I picked my X-File before the game started.
I didn't.
All right, how's that look?
I can see it.
All right, cool. All right, I think we're just about ready to go. So the object of the game, as it always has been, is to be the first to identify their opponent's hidden X-File. I've got mine right here, and I'll just be setting that up there in the corner. So I've got mine here. Jonathan has his there. The winner is going to be the person who figures out what that hidden card is first. And your agents are going to be starting in the bureau section of the table. Bureau deck.
They're just higher because of the player.
Yep. Got your bureau deck right here, discard pile here. So we have the bureaus down at the bottom. We've got the field out here and the hospital section over here. We've got our resource counters, blue indicating resource points and the red one indicating conspiracy points. We begin the game with 5 apiece, and we're going to be using those to pay for cards. The blue for the resource cards that have the blue shield emblem on them, and then the conspiracy pool for the conspiracy cards that have the red hand emblem in the corner. Agents are going to be starting off with tokens. Jonathan, go ahead and throw your tokens on your agents, and Mulder's going to get 3 of them. In my case, Mo Box and Kosif are going to get resource points because they are used for paying for cards. In both cases, we have Mulder on our team, so he's going to get 3 tokens added onto his card because those are going to be used to pay for sites. And you do have a lovely effect with Phoebe Green, which is going to potentially allow you to investigate 2 sites in one turn and move Mulder from one place to another, and you might be able to pop off 2 questions if everything should go well.
It's also useful if I get dealt with that section sheet on draft and Mulder gets sent to the bureau.
Yep. All right. So I think the last thing we're going to do is just draw our 7, and then we'll decide which of us is going to go first. Let's have at it, Jonathan. Let's get this game underway. So Jonathan and I are each drawing 7 cards. And then take a look at your hand. And Jonathan, we're now going to decide which of us is going to go first. So I've got 2 custom tokens right here. If you pull the one with the red X from my hand, you get to pick whether you want to start off as the investigating player or the conspiracy player. Got it?
Got it.
So which is it going to be, sir? Right or left?
Your left.
My left. My left hand is holding the conspiracy token, and my right hand has the one with the red X. So I'll get to choose whether I want to go first or yield to you. And it's a mixed hand. So I think I'll go ahead and start first, and maybe I can buy some decent cards from the top of my deck. You ready to go, Jonathan?
Yes.
All right, cool. I'm going to draw my free card, and that's going to kick off the briefing phase for the first round. Now that I've drawn my free card, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to assess my agent's resource points, and we're going to add that to my resource pool. And Mulder has 2 resource points. Agent Kasdan has 1, Mo Box has 1, and Karen Kosif has 1 for a total of 5, and that takes my resource pool up to 10. And as per Mulder's effect, his 2 resource points have to be used to purchase cards, and I think I'll buy a total of. I'll get 4 cards with that, leaving me with 6 in the bank. Now I'm going to turn it over to Jonathan, who's going to sell any of his resource cards. Again, those are the cards that have a blue shield emblem at the bottom. He can sell those for conspiracy points.
I'm going to sell Mount Avalon for 2. And I think I'll buy 2. Oops.
So you sold for 2 and you bought 2, so you got 5 left, right?
That's right.
Good deal. All right, and that's going to conclude the briefing phase for this first round. We're going to head into the healing phase, but because this is the first round, all the agents are in the bureau. No one's injured or in the hospital, so we'll skip past the healing phase. The third phase is the requisition phase, and I only pulled 1 equipment card, and although I've only got 6 left, I think I'm going to go ahead and requisition the Walther PPK 7.65 holdout weapon to one of my agents. It adds 2 to the agent's close range skill, or the agent's close range combat skill, that is. And let's see. I'll go ahead and requisition the Walther PPK to Agent Karen Kosif, and that's going to take her close range combat up to 3, and that's going to take my resource pool down to a measly 2. After that, we're going to head into the deployment phase, in which I'm going to send all 4 of my agents to the field section. So they're all leaving the bureau, and they're all heading out to the field where they can apply their skills to sites. And so that's the deployment phase concluded. Next phase is case assignment, where I'll play any number of sites from my hand, provided I can pay for them.
Well, you can. Mulder's
Yep, Mulder can certainly do so. And I'm going to play 2 sites. First one is Coastal Northwest Oregon. That is an affiliation alien investigation site, Jonathan.
okay.
That has an alien investigation prerequisite of 4 and an affiliation question should it be successful. And I'm going to use one of Mulder's 3 tokens to pay for that one. And I'm also going to play Marion, Virginia. That's a behavioral 4 prerequisite with a result question. And again, I'm going to use one of Mulder's tokens to pay for that site. So I'm left with only 1 token on Mulder.
What kind of question does that one have?
All right, so we have an affiliation question over here at Coastal Northwest Oregon and a result question with Marion, Virginia. So at this point, Jonathan is considering whether or not he wants to put any face-down bluffs on either of these sites, which will work to deter me from wanting to send my agents to the site, because a face-down bluff could be quite detrimental to my team's investigation. He could also put down a fake, a bluff card that's not a bluff, and therefore it would be a true bluff. But I don't know because it's face down. The upside of putting face down bluffs on a site is that when it's revealed and paid for, the cost of the bluff is reduced by 1. And so, Jonathan, how many are you going to put down?
Actually, no bluff.
No bluffs. And with that, let's head into the investigation phase. Now, at this point, I'll decide which of these 2 sites I want to send my agents. I can divide them up and send some to one and some to the other, or I can put all of them on one site. I'll lose the other one because there's no bluff attached to it. But strength in numbers, as they say. But I think I'm gonna take the risk and divide them up and see if I can get 2 questions popped off. I'm going to send Mulder and Mobox over to Coastal Northwest Oregon, and I'm going to send Lucy Kasdan and Karen Kosif over to Marion, Virginia. And so now at this point, I'll decide which investigation I want to begin with, and that's where Jonathan's going to be concentrating his conspiracy cards, where he'll be trying to deter my investigation there. And I'm going to start our investigation with Coastal Northwest Oregon. As I mentioned earlier, the site prerequisite is Alien Investigation 4+, and Mulder has 4 Alien Investigation, and Mobox has 2. And so right there, I've got a total of 6 Alien Investigation between my 2 agents. So that's more than enough to investigate the site. Jonathan, do you have any cards you want to play at this site?
I've got nothing.
That's too bad, because while Jonathan has nothing, that means my team's investigation is successful, and they've been awarded an affiliation question. And Jonathan, because this was an alien investigation site, why don't I just go ahead and ask, is your X-Files affiliation by any chance alien?
No, it is.
It is not. So I'll be using the checklist to rule out all of the X-Files that have an alien affiliation on there, which is 8. So that takes the number of possibilities down from 41 to 33. Yep.
Yes.
33 possibilities left for what Jonathan's hidden X-File might be. So that's a nice chunk scratched off, but obviously it's way too soon to say I have a good idea of what X-File Jonathan is hiding there. So that concludes the investigation of Coastal Northwest Oregon. I'll send it over to my discard pile. And now we'll turn our attention to the other site, Marion, Virginia. in which Agent Lucy Kasdan and Karen Kosif are going to be applying their skills, their behavioral skills, to be precise. And Lucy Kasdan has 3, and Agent Karen Kosif has 3, for a total of 6. What do you got for me?
Again, got nothing.
You got nothing. All right. Well, this is looking pretty good. Good start, but let's see if I can get a correct guess in. Jonathan, by any chance, is your X-Files result manipulation of evidence?
It is not.
It is not. So we'll scratch off all the X-Files with manipulation of evidence as a characteristic, and I'm left with 28 possibilities. So good day's work right there. We'll send Mary and Virginia to the trash bin as well, and my agents can crack a beer and as we head into the debriefing phase. And at this point, we're in the debriefing phase, and what we're going to be doing is we have to discard down to 7 cards. We can't have more than 7 cards in our hand as we exit this phase. And I have one too many cards in my hand, Jonathan, so I'm going to have to get rid of something here. And I think I'm going to get rid of Ghost in the Machine. And I think I'll get rid of Clone as well. What about you?
I've got too many.
All right. And with that, we'll pass it over to you. Draw your free card, sir.
All right. There's my freebie. And now I'll get my agents to generate their bids. They also generate 2 from Mulder, 1 from
Oof. Do you think you might switch your audio back to what it was earlier? I don't know if that's going to be any better.
to sound
Yep. Let's go with that.
with that. Okay. So I've generated my 5 rows. And now I will card. And of course, Mulder used his 2 side cards.
And I want to welcome Nathan from Chasing the Dragon to the live stream. Thanks so much for tuning in, Nathan. And everyone else who's watching on this Friday evening, thank you so very much for availing your Friday evening to check us out at the Alien Investigations channel. If by any chance, if you haven't investigated that subscribe button, please do so if you feel so inclined. Little support goes a long way from keeping this channel off life support. Nathan wants to know any URs in your pack. Unfortunately, Nathan, neither of us pulled an ultra rare from our booster packs. But I'm happy to say, Nathan, if you missed it earlier when we were cracking open the packs, unfortunately, the Wheel of Sealed was very unkind to me. It gave me not only a Premier starter, it also gave me all Premier boosters. And so while that didn't bode well, the starter deck actually wasn't too shabby. And I had a lot of sites I could use. And the 2 boosters I opened up, none of them had any X-File cards in them, surprisingly. And it was the majority of the cards in my 2 Premier boosters were sites. So I was able to use a lot of the cards from my 2 Premier boosters in my deck. So it wasn't too bad.
And I'm going to use Mulder to buy. It's the only 2.
Excellent. And I'm going to sell just a couple of sites that I really can't use. Cumberland Prison and Mount Avalon. 2 each. That's going to take my conspiracy pool up to 9. And I think I'm going to get me 4 cards from my deck, and that's going to leave 5 in the bank. Back to you.
All right. Move to healing, but there's healing. Move to a position. I am going 4 to also equip Walther PA. And I'm going to that to Mulder.
And that's going to take Mulder's close range combat up to 4. So he's
Interesting enough, all of these have the same range.
Yeah, all your guys are pretty strong in combat, so an adversary may not bode pretty well against your team there if they're all investigating a site together.
Okay. And now up to you to. Did you?
I did sell. Yeah, back to you. Healing phase, obviously not doing anything there.
I will. Everybody.
So everyone's out in the field for the deployment phase, and tell us, where might they potentially be going for the case assignment phase?
I'm going to say Stevenson, Maine, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll use my token for one of them. And that's a behavior 4, and it asks result question.
Result.
And I will also play new field item.
Observation.
And a motivation. Another one tokens to play.
Yep. Okay. And I'm gonna put one bluff on Steveston, and I'm gonna put I'll put 2 bluffs on Fairfield Zoo. And now we'll head into investigation phase, and Jonathan's now going to decide how he's going to divvy up his agents. There's some very ominous bluffs attached to both of his sites. So that's going to give him pause to whether or not he wants to divide and conquer.
I'm going to divide and go and both.
All right. So Mulder and Agent Rich are going to go to Steveston, and Phoebe Green and Agent Weiss are going to head over to Fairfield Zoo. Where, Jonathan, do you want to start your investigation?
Let's start.
Okay. Tell us about your team's observation skills.
Let's see. Mulder has 2. And I can't read. Let me try those. Oh. Which one?
I thought you said you're starting with the zoo.
Yep. Sorry, I said the wrong one.
Yeah, so we're at Fairfield Zoo, right?
There's 3. Rich has 2.
Oh, okay.
1 more need.
All right, so we're at Steveston, actually. Sorry. All right, so we're at Steveston, and you have, I think, a total of 4 behavioral, right?
5.
5. Okay, cool. But Rich has 2?
He does.
Okay, gotcha. I don't know why in my head I thought he had 1. Okay, and the bluff is a true bluff. It's actually Fairfield Zoo. So we'll send that to the trash bin. And I do not have any cards to play to hold up your investigation there. Congratulations. Ask away.
All right. Well, I'll go after hanging Is your result death?
It is not death, but good guess though. And so Jonathan's using his checklist that he got from his starter deck to scratch off all the X-Files results with all the X-Files with the result of death, of which there are 13. So scratching off that many possibilities, I think he's got me down to, 28, something like that.
Your math is correct.
And now with Phoebe Green and Agent Weiss going into a site investigation in which there are 2 bluffs attached, can't help but wonder if maybe Phoebe Green is thinking, should call in some backup.
That was the process.
Yeah, had a feeling it might be.
Okay. Sorry, I put the teeth blinders on. Keep spitting.
No worries. Let's head to the zoo.
All right. Show me those.
Well, tell us first about your team's observation skills.
Yeah, I've observation foresight, and I observation 5.
All right. It looks like Mulder's staying where he is, huh? And 2 bluffs.
Let me think. You know what? Let's do it.
You gonna move Mulder over there?
Let's pull him.
All right.
That way, if I look at somebody with a particular block.
All right, so Agent Rich is just going to have to go crack a beer and enjoy the success by his lonesome because Mulder is now over in Idaho to lend a hand to Phoebe Green and Agent Weiss. And, well, Jonathan, the 2 bluffs that I have are both true bluffs. Maggie Holvey and Containment Facility, neither of which is injurious to your investigation. So, once again, you have successfully investigated your site. Ask away.
But you got to burn that.
Indeed. Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of conspiracy cards from my hand, so I didn't have much in the way to stop you at that moment. So wonder if they're more congregated at the bottom of the deck. So what's it going to be? What's your poison on this question?
Is your motive survival?
My X-Files motive is not survival. But on the plus side, you have scratched off quite a few possibilities between those 2 investigations, as have I. So I've currently got you down to 28, but I believe you have me down to probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like 23, 24. So got a little bit of a lead on me at this point. And while Jonathan's scratching off all the possibilities on his checklist, I need to get rid of 1 card from my hand because I have way too many. And I think I'll get rid of Excelsius Day. And that'll leave me with 7 cards in my hand. I don't think you have to discard any, Jonathan, because I think you bought 2, you played 2, so you shouldn't have more than, well, no, you got a free card as well. So how many cards do you have?
That's 7.
Okay, cool. Just enough. All right. We'll pass it back to me, and I'll get myself a free card, and we'll get ourselves a new round. And I'll once again assess my agent's resource points, of which I've got 5, 2 from Mulder, 1 from Box, 1 from Kasdan, 1 from 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬. That's going to take my pool up from 2 to 7. And I think I'll just get myself... let's get 3 cards. Over to you.
I am not Bauer. No
Say that
Bauer.
again? You're not buying anything?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. With that, we'll head out of the briefing phase, and we'll skip past the healing phase. For requisition phase, I don't have any equipment cards, so we'll skip past that. For deployment, we're going to keep everyone out in the field. They're going to remain where they are. And for case assignment, we're going to potentially be sending them to Arlington, Virginia. That's an occult investigation prerequisite with an affiliation question. And we, how else are we going to do this? Evidence.
You said it's election.
Occult investigation for that one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And we'll also potentially be sending them to Aubrey, Missouri. That's a behavioral 4 prerequisite with motive question. Affiliation over here at Arlington. Motive over here at Aubrey. I'm going to use Mulder's token to pay for Aubrey. And I'm going to use Mo Box's resource point to pay for part of Arlington, and I'm going to deduct 1 from my pool to pay for the other half of Arlington.
What's the
Retail, do you have any bluff?
What's the on Arlington?
Arlington has occult investigation as its prerequisite.
I'll put one bluff on.
1 bluff on Arlington?
Yep.
All right. Any bluffs for Aubrey?
And 1 bluff on Aubrey.
Okay. And we're going to send everyone over to Aubrey, Missouri, and we're going to be applying our investigation skills to it, for which Mulder has 3, Agent Kasdan has 3, and Karen 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 has 3, for a total of 9 behavioral, Jonathan. Let's take a look at that bluff.
It's a bluff.
It is a true bluff? All right. Well, do you have any other cards you want to play on that?
No.
All right. And with that, we've got ourselves a motive question coming your way. By any chance, is your X-Files motive... sorry, let me look at it again. Okay, yeah. By any chance, is your X-Files motive control?
Oh, no. Yes.
It is?
It is.
It is control. How about that? So that's going to weed off a lot of possibilities. Ugh. I dug the knife in deep on that one, didn't I?
Mm.
So now that I've ascertained that Jonathan's X-File is motive, or now that I've ascertained that Jonathan's X-File has a motive of control, I've got him down to 8 possibilities now. Not too bad, but I'm not going to... What's that?
That got quick.
Yeah, and so at this point, I'm going to refrain from taking a crack at identifying his X-File because 8 is still kind of a lot. It's a bit too much to want to try to take a shot in the dark because a penalty question could really swing this game in the other direction. So I'm going to deposit Aubrey, Missouri in the trash bin, and we're going to head into debriefing phase, and I have to get rid of just one card, and I think, Jonathan, I'm going to get rid of expedite requests for resources. What about you?
I've only got 5, so
Sounds good. Let's pass it back to you.
I'll draw 3D.
And now we got a new briefing phase. This is the fourth turn in the game. Round 2, turn 4.
And I would take my 5 red.
5 resource points. Takes you up to 9.
And I
What are you
would
getting rid of? Oh, I'm sorry. How much you buying? What are you getting rid of from your pool?
going to just use 2, and that's it.
Just Mulder's 2. Okie doke. And I'm going to get rid of Stunning Blow for 2 and Mattawa Washington for 2. That's a total of 4. Takes my pool up to 9. And I believe I'm going to get 2 cards, leaving me with 7 in the bank. Back to you.
All right. I am going to use Y token to hunt for methods. That's method.
Yeah, he gets a method question. So that one-time game effect token from Weiss means you're going to search your bureau deck and find a site that has a method question on it, which tells me you don't have a whole lot of sites in your hand. I seem to have the opposite problem. I'm just pulling way too many sites.
It'd be good if I can get some cards.
Considering this was a Premier Edition only deck, the fact that I'm pulling a lot of sites is pretty good.
It's remarkable.
Yeah, as Nathan said earlier, this is a best case scenario for Premier, and I have to agree. I really thought I was going to be coming into this game with a distinct disadvantage from that. Because, yeah, Jonathan, you pulled not only a Truth is Out There starter, but a Truth is Out There booster pack. You did get a Premier booster, which unfortunately that was where we saw all of the non-playable X-File cards, which was only 5. 5's we've seen way worse from a Premier booster pack.
All right.
You got yourself a method site?
I do.
Cool. I don't think you have to show it to me, but I'm going to see it soon anyway.
That's true. So, feeling.
Where are they going?
Nothing. They're going to Broad Street, Philadelphia.
Criminal investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, as you said, a method. And that's the only site you're putting down?
It is.
Okay, and I'll just put 1 bluff on that.
All right. Everybody. Let's see that.
Well, first tell us about your team's criminal investigation skills.
Let's see. Weiss has 1. Phoebe has 3. Mulder has 2. So that's 6. And it's 2. That's 8.
And my bluff is unfortunately a true bluff. It's not applicable to that site. So that is going to go to the trash bin. And that is all I have. I am not pulling any good conspiracy cards. The cards I wanted, the cards in my hand could have paid off really well in the previous round against you, but they only just now came up, so they're not helping me out. So ask away. What method is looking good to you?
Is your subject?
My X-Files method is not subterfuge. Whew. At this point, it's just a matter of who can guess correctly first, because unfortunately, the conspiracy cards are not coming up in abundance, unfortunately, which is what happens when you play a sealed gameplay event as opposed to having a very refined bureau deck that was constructed prior to the game, in which you can incorporate all of the surefire bluffs, the surefire events, and the right combination of adversaries and combat cards to make it so that it's a little more dastardly. But we're not done yet. We could very well see some fisticuffs getting exchanged here, because Jonathan and I did each pull a nice helping of adversaries from our respective packs. So we could potentially see some action soon. It's just a question of, do the activators line up? Do the conditions for playing the card get met? And while Jonathan's still scratching off, I do want to remind everyone who is tuning in for this live broadcast, or who may watch it in the coming days, there is currently a giveaway happening for a free Gen Con 96 demo card of 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, which Jonathan Hagy is so graciously offering up to the winner of this giveaway. And if you watch the latest video on my channel for what's my video called, John? What's that? Yeah, the latest Magic Bullet episode on my channel, Secrets of the X-Files CCG Revealed. All the details for that are available in that video on how you can win that Gen Con 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 card. Just watch the video, like it, leave a comment, and if you're not already subscribed, investigate that subscribe button. And the drawing for that is going to be on October 2nd, and the deadline for entering is September 30th. So again, if you're watching this video in the near future, hop on over to watch that video, Secrets of the X-Files CCG Revealed, right after this game. For now, stay right where you are. Don't touch that dial. All right. Now, Jonathan, I think it's time to pass it back to me, yes?
I got a dump.
Yeah, I've got 7, so I'm going to keep them all.
I'm going to dump Detective Rod.
Sounds good. And we'll pass it over to me. Free card, new round. And going to once again add 5 resource points to my pool, courtesy of my agents, which takes it up to 8. And I think I'm gonna buy me, let's get 3 cards. Over to you. What are you gonna sell?
I'm going to sell gas paragraph 2, lie detector for 2, and your cost Richmond for 2, because I can't use that more. And that'll take me up to 11. And I will buy 2.
Huh. I figured you were gonna go for broke on that. You said you did quite the opposite, which tells me maybe you have some good cards in your hand that you want to make sure you have enough to spend. Interesting. All right, and so we'll head out of the briefing, and we'll skip healing. And for requisition, I did pull an equipment card, but unfortunately, all my agents are out in the field, and the activator for this equipment card is not met because no one is in the bureau. So we're going to skip past that. For
Steven,
deployment,
I need to remove. Let's see. Wait a minute. I did not that side, so there's more.
Okay. Thank you for keeping yourself honest over there. For deployment, as I said, we're going to keep everyone in the field as they are. And for case assignment, let's look at sending them to the 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 house in Dudley, Arkansas. That's a multi-site Jonathan with the keyword subterfuge and behavioral, affiliation and motive. And I'm going to use Karen Kosev's resource point to pay for it because it has the keyword behavioral. And I'm also going to potentially be sending my team to Farmington, New Mexico. That's also a multi-site with the keywords alien investigation, computer, motive, and method. And I'm going to use 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 to pay for that because it has the keyword alien investigation. So once again, do you have any bluffs, true or otherwise, that you want to put down?
No bluff.
No bluffs. And with that, we'll look at, I think I'm going to split my guys up, and I'm going to send the boys to Farmington, New Mexico, and we're going to send the ladies over to the 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 house. Let's begin our investigation with Farmington, New Mexico, Jonathan, and we're going to apply our agent's alien investigation skills to it, for which Mulder has 4 and 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 has 2, for a total of 6. The extra condition says if you ask if the method is manipulation, the prerequisite is reduced by 1. I've only got 1 remaining manipulation, so I'm not going to go with that. So, yep, 5 is the magic number.
I'm going to pay 3 and play squeeze.
Ooh, squeeze. That's no good. All right, so squeeze costs you 3. It is a method activator on squeeze, and so that is met because Farmington, New Mexico has a keyword of method. So the conditions are met by that. Unfortunately, he's an evolutionary creature, and I've got nothing that's going to stop that evolutionary creature from attacking. So let's head into combat. All right, we've got ourselves some combat happening here. Got some fisticuffs going on. All right, Jonathan. All right, if I'm not mistaken, the effect on squeeze is that the long-range combat round is skipped. Yes?
That's correct.
All right, and so we'll skip past the long-range combat portion of this fight, and we'll look to the close range, for which Mulder has 2 close-range combat, as does 𝐗-𝐁e𝐷i𝐥e𝐬. And I believe Squeeze has 3 close range, right? Squeeze has 3?
What is 𝐗-𝐷i𝐥e𝐬's health?
His is 4. Yeah, Mulder's got 5 health. 𝐗-𝐷i�e𝐬 has 4 health. So best you're going to do is inflict 3 on one of them.
I'm going to put 3 on Mulder. But Squeeze has a health of 5.
He's got a health of 5. So unfortunately, yeah, my team's close range combat is not going to be enough to stop Squeeze from getting another round of close range, which doesn't bode well. So, yeah, not much I can do about that. I've got no combat cards I can use to help me out. So it's not looking good for my investigation, unfortunately. So as we head into the second close range combat round, one side has to be down for the count in order for this combat to end, and it looks like Mulder and 𝐗-𝐷i�e𝐬 are once again going to apply 4 to Squeeze, but not, however, before he inflicts another 3, which I presume is going to go on Mulder, and that is going to be enough to KO him.
Correct.
All right, and so Mulder's down for the count, and we are done with this combat. Squeeze goes bye-bye. He has successfully bested one of my agents, my lead agent, mind you. And unfortunately, 𝐗-𝐷i�e𝐬 has insufficient alien investigation skill to carry on by himself. Job well done on that. So I'll send Farmington to the recycle bin, and 𝐗-𝐷i�e� is going to have to, cry into his beer because he did not, unfortunately, have the chops to see Farmington through to its conclusion. All right, so let's turn our attention to 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 House, and we've got Agent Lucy Kasdan and Agent Karen Kossoff applying their behavioral skills, for which each of them has 3 behavioral for a total of 6.
Can't do nothing with that one.
All right. Well, it looks like at least it's not a total loss here. I'll get myself either an affiliation or a motive question out of this round, and I think, Jonathan, I'm gonna rule out another one of your. Actually, I already know your X-Files motive, so I'm not even going to be asking that. I know your X-Files motive control, so I will be asking you an affiliation question. By any chance, Jonathan, is your X-Files affiliation evolutionary?
No, it isn't.
And that is going to scratch off 3 possibilities, and I believe I've got you down to 5? 5.
Yeah.
All righty. And of the 5, are any of them jumping out at me? I don't know if I want to take a guess at this point. I think I might, just to make it interesting, because they're quite spread out across the remaining affiliations. So it would be nice to narrow it down a little bit more, especially knowing that I'm going to be without Mulder for at least a couple of rounds. I did have some healing cards. I pulled a couple of healing cards from my packs, so hopefully they'll come up. But let's take a guess here. Let's make it interesting. Jonathan, by any chance, is your X-File the Manitou?
My X not to.
Oh, all right. Well, on the bright side, I've scratched off one more possibility, which leaves 4 X-Files remaining. The downside, though, is that because I guessed incorrectly, Jonathan has been awarded a penalty question. So, Jonathan, you can either ask an affiliation question, or you can take a crack at identifying my X-File. What's it going to be?
I'm going to ask an affiliation question.
I have a feeling you might. What's looking good to you?
Is your affiliation government?
My X-Files affiliation is not government. I'm like Keanu Reeves here. I'm just dodging bullets from Jonathan in the form of questions.
Yeah, not much guessing.
And while Jonathan's scratching off X-Files there, I'm going to scratch off some cards from my hand. And I think I'll say goodbye to Gerd Thomas. And what are you parting with?
5. Good.
Okay, let's pass it back to you. That was an interesting round there. We saw not only an adversary, we also saw a penalty question get asked.
All right. My freebie.
While that's going on, I do want to welcome our live viewers, including Intruso here, who said, just popped in to say, I appreciate your channel very much. I'm new to the game, and your videos are full of great info. Hope you have a nice evening. Thank you so very much for tuning in, and appreciate you watching and following the channel. So thank you very much.
And one thing before you, any new, you're just finding the game. If you want to play, we'll walk you as long as it takes to play the game. You know, we're happy players.
That's right. So we have a very active community in not only Facebook. We actually have 2 Facebook groups where we operate from, and both of which are found in the description of this video and every video on my channel. We also have a Discord community of which we're even more active. We spend most of our time discussing the game in our Discord community. So if you really want to get into some nuanced conversations, I wholeheartedly recommend joining our Discord community. We've got a lot of great channels in there where you can ask questions about the game. We do buy, selling, and trading. You can see all of the updates from our fan-made expansions that we're working on. It's very active in there. So feel free to check out the link to our Discord community. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. We get into some really good debates in there. It's very enjoyable. If you don't mind getting a whole bunch of notifications blowing up on your phone because we're into a very spirited debate about Langley for the 20th time since we formed the community, then by all means join our Discord community. It's so much fun. But yes, we also have 2 Facebook groups if you are on Facebook as well. So again, you can check us out at any of those. We're very active there. It's really the only places on Facebook I spend my time are in the X-Files Card Game Facebook groups. That's it. The rest of Facebook is mostly a dumpster fire, if you ask me. But we have a lot of great fun in our Facebook, our X-Files CCG Facebook communities. All right, so Jonathan, where are we? Did you add your resource points yet?
Not yet. Just got my.
Not yet.
So I'll generate 5. That'll give me 12. I buy. Well, I'll buy total 2 by necessity from.
And
I pass.
I'm going to sell a few cards. High resolution camera for 2, 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 for 2, and Olympic National Forest for 2. Those sites are not going to be very helpful without Mulder on my team, so might as well get rid of them, put them towards something a little more useful, like maybe some conspiracy cards. So that's a total of 6. Takes my conspiracy pool up to 13. And with that, I think, Jonathan, I'm going to get my hands on, what say we get 4 cards.
And I'm going. Let's pursue.
Damn it! Damn you! Damn you! That relentless pursuit. Not a fan of that card. Well done on that.
It's dick.
It's kind of a dick card. Yeah. That's why I don't use it much. All right. Well played on that one. I think I have one in my deck, but it hasn't.
Yeah, too.
I don't like that card. Ugh. Horrible card. Well, there's worse cards in the game, but that one, yeah, might be in my top 5.
All right. So from there, we'll move phase. No healing. Requisition. Nothing. Position. And everybody stay in the.
All right. Where are they going? Potentially.
I am going to, for 2 sites, Newark, New Jersey, and that's an evidence collection method question.
Okay.
And Lake Hagy in Sioux City, Iowa. Wait a minute. Hold on. No, I'm not. Sorry. Just the one.
Just the one?
Yeah. The
I'm
one.
going to put 1 bluff on that.
All right. Everybody. Let's
see what sort of evidence collection you guys are bringing to this.
2, 4, 6, 8.
8. You need 4. Dang. Well, I guess it is going to wind up being a true bluff considering you got that much evidence collection on you. But yeah, I had government cover-up, which I was going to use, but I would have to spend all conspiracy points to take you down to 4, and you would still be able to investigate that. So can't do anything about that. I was hoping you would say 7 evidence collection, and I'd be like, ha! I'd have to spend it all, but at least I would be able to stop you. But not when you have 8 evidence collection amongst them. Can't do a thing about that. Ask away. Method.
Is your method violence?
Is my method violence?
Mm-hmm.
My X-Files method is not violence. But at this point, with you narrowing me down to so few, even a no answer is good. And
Well,
I've only got
Mulder out a little bit, potentially Mulder out. It gives me a chance.
You might have a chance here, Jonathan. Without Mulder, it's not looking too good for me. I've only got 3 cards here too, so I have to really I got a tight budget that I'm working with now with resource points. Now that Mulder's not going to be helping me out.
All right. So that one is just, and I have a card.
3 again, so keeping them. All right, back to me. Free card. I need it. Okay, so I'm only going to be generating 3 resource points now that Mulder's in the hospital. So that's going to take my pool up to 8. And my kingdom for a healing card right now. Let's get 3 cards. Yeah, 3 cards. Oh, there we go.
Sell Lake Oak for 2, Wiretap 2, and Sheriff for 1. So that's 5.
Interesting.
4.
And I'm going to return Mobox's resource point and Lucy Caston's resource point. Let's this will be interesting. Let's head out of briefing, and for healing phase, I'm going to play successful diagnosis for 2, and that is going to be played on a team in the hospital containing an injured agent, and that agent is going to heal 2 damage immediately. Excellent. And as we are in healing phase, Mulder's also going to heal 2 more because he has a health of 5, and agents with health of 4 or more heal 2 damage each. So therefore, Mulder only has 1 damage on him now. So thankfully, that successful diagnosis came up at the right time. Mulder's going to be able to check out early. He's still going to have one of his arms in a sling, but he'll still be able to still lend his skills to the investigation nonetheless.
Oh, man.
For requisition, Jonathan, I'm not going to requisition anything because I don't have any equipment cards. And for deployment, I'm going to send Mulder out of the hospital. And he's going to rejoin his agents. He's like, hey, guys, what did I miss? And for case assignment, we still have Arlington, Virginia out here, Jonathan. And let's also consider sending the team to Central Prison in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's a multi-site with the keywords occult investigation, criminal investigation, motive or method. Mobox is going to use his resource point to pay for that site. And do I want to pay for another site? Let's see. I think that'll do it. No other sites, Jonathan. What are you going to do? You've got one bluff on Arlington already.
I'm going to put bluff on the prison.
One bluff on the prison. And I think, since it's a cult investigation, I'm going to have a really hard time. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to pull this off. Yeah, I don't think there's any way, even with this card, to investigate both. Yeah. All right, so let's just send everyone to Arlington, and we're going to apply our cult investigation skills to it, for which Mulder has 3 and Karen Kosov has 2, for a total of 5. Let's take a look at that bluff.
True bluff.
True bluff. All right, good stuff. And so, well, before we ask the question, did you want to play any other cards? It's affiliation. I know you got that mechanic in there somewhere in that deck.
That's all I do.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
All right, and I got me an affiliation question, another one, and this one is gonna, however way, yes or no, I'm gonna have you narrowed down to 2. So, Jonathan, by any chance, is your X-Files affiliation primordial?
Yes, it is.
It is. And now we know that Jonathan's affiliation is primordial. We know that his motive is control. We don't yet know the method or the result of your X-File, but I do have you down to 2 possibilities. And I think I'll take another crack at it, Jonathan. It's only 2. So even if I get it wrong, I'll know what it is next time. By any chance, Jonathan, is your X-File Lucas Henry?
No, it's not.
Ah, darn it. Well, you got yourself another penalty question, and you didn't do too well on my affiliation last time, but I think you got it this time.
Oh. Hmm. You know what? I'm going for it.
You're going to take a guess?
I'm going because it has to get another shot. It's over.
Let's see. What
is your X-File Dr. Shadow?
My X-File is not Dr. Banton and his shadow. I think my heart skipped a beat for a second there. I don't know why. I just thought it was on the tip of your tongue. I thought you were gonna spit out the name of my X-File right there, and it was gonna be game. And I'll be like, well, you know what? That's, even if I don't recall you beating me before, you would have certainly had a W tonight. I felt like that was a really close one right there. All right, it's getting very interesting. How many do you have left?
7.
7, huh? Okay. And I've only got you down to 1. So, yeah, you're going to have to probably consider selling all your resource cards.
Oh, yeah.
Next time it comes back to you. But you've got an investigation coming your way now. So let's see if you can make some additional headway. Let's, do you need to discard any cards?
I do not.
All right, in here. All right, back to you.
All right. Draw my. Well, I drew it a long time.
What's that?
I said, well, I drew that at the wrong time.
Yeah, I'm having the same problem. I had some good cards I could play against you, but they just came up a little too late. Now, let's see. You got your usual 5 resource points.
Yeah, which
takes you up to 8.
And then I would just spend 2. And then I pay.
Ready for me to sell?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to get rid of Olympic National Forest for 2 and Marion, Virginia for 2. That's going to take my conspiracy pool up to 13. And let's go with 5 cards, leaving me with 8. Could be looking at the final round here or in the next one. So might as well get deep into this deck if possible.
All right. Well, I don't have healing. No recognition. Everybody deployed. And I'm going to pay 4 to play Stevenson, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania.
What is that motive?
Stevenson is result behavior, and Franklin is criminal investigation method.
All right. And I'm going to put 1 bluff on. 1 bluff is going on Franklin and nothing on Stevenston.
All right. I'm sending everybody to Stevenson.
All right. And tell us about your team's behavioral skills.
Let me make sure I'm going to do that. This is what happens when you can't see.
The silence is intense.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to split up and go.
All right. So Mulder and Rich. All right. How are you doing this? Mulder and Phoebe going to Stevenson. Rich and Weiss going to Franklin. Okay. Final answer?
Yeah, I'm just up because I can't hardly see. So it's Richard, Mulder, Stevenson, Phoebe, Weiss, Franklin.
Okay. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with Franklin.
Which one?
Franklin.
All right.
That's the one you get on, right?
That's the one with the bluff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I got to figure out how I want to spend my conspiracy points here. Tell us about your team's criminal investigation there.
They have 4, which is exactly what it takes.
They have 4 criminal.
Yes.
Well, I can stop one investigation. It's just a question of which one do I want to stop.
Well, I don't know anything, so.
What's that?
See.
Yeah, no, I just with the amount of conspiracy points I have, I'm one away. If I bought one more, if I sold one more card, I could have stopped both of them. So I'm going to be able to stop one. It's just a question of which one. There's just no way the math is going to allow me to stop. Wait a second. No, yeah, there's no way the math is going to work for me on this. Okay, so Mulder has... Which investigation?
What you're doing right now has happened to me.
I can't say that again.
What you're doing right now has happened twice.
Yeah, no, it's like what, like I said, one way or another, I'm going to stop one, but not the other. Let's. I really want to play the adversary, so. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna. The bluff is poisonous gases, which I really, really did want to play on your team, but if I want to have any hope of stopping your agents at the other site, yeah, not paying for it. All it's going to do is wound them, but it's not going to stop it. So ask away.
All right. Is X-Files. What do I have? Manipulate.
That probably should have been the one investigation I tried to stop. My X-Files method is manipulation.
Well, that's all. That was the most left, so it doesn't narrow it down.
Dang, I should have tried better to stop that one instead. Like I said, I can get rid of one investigation. I figured I might as well go for the other one. Well, that investigation went smooth for Jonathan, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for this other one, because this one's going to get interesting. So, feel like asking for that one before we head over to the other site?
Hmm. Well, if I get it wrong, then it's so I might have to see where this.
No guess?
No guess.
Yeah, because if you get it wrong, then it's game over.
But if I don't investigate this, I don't. Thing.
Well, you'll still have a chance to stop me in the next one. You got me down to what, 3 or 4?
3.
3. Whew.
Hmm.
Feeling lucky? Come on, don't you want to see what's going to happen at the other site? I think everyone who's tuning in wants to know what's going to happen at the other site.
Everybody.
Everyone but you, that is.
Yeah, everybody. Hmm. Of course, even that. I can theoretically stop the next again.
Yeah, you could theoretically. Depends on. You got 7 conspiracy points in your pool now. So sell all your resource cards in the next one. Get as much as you can out of it. Not too much. Then you might be able to stop me.
Mm-hmm.
Insert Jeopardy theme music here. Come on.
Let's keep playing.
Let's continue on. All right, Steveson, tell us about your team's behavioral skills.
They have from Mulder and 2.
All right, and that is a result site, yes?
It is.
And with that, I'm going to play the Hunter in the Dark for 7, which leaves only 1 conspiracy point in my pool. The Hunter in the Dark has an activator of result. And Jonathan, I'm pretty sure you don't have Dr. Daniel Trepkos in your hand to negate that one. And I know you don't have X. I don't think you have evasive maneuvers, so you probably don't have anything to stop it, right?
That's true. I have nothing to stop it.
Which means we're going into combat. Yeah, as Nathan's like, big trouble. Yeah, you better believe big trouble. So, yeah, like Squeeze that you played earlier, Jonathan, the long-range combat round is skipped for Hunter in the Dark, so we're going to go straight to close range. If I'm not mistaken, Mulder and Rich have a total of 4 close range.
That's true. But Mulder was the PK weapon.
He does, and that does add 2 to his close range. So that is going to be enough to take out the Hunter in the Dark. I did forget that you had that buried under Mulder's card. But nonetheless, I am going to be able to inflict 4 damage onto Agent Rich. And that is going to be enough to send him to the hospital, provided you don't have a combat card, like a medic, like a first aid. Tell me you don't have a first aid.
I don't think that.
No combat cards. I don't have any either. So we'll assign that damage. Hunter in the Dark goes to the trash bin. Agent Rich goes down for the count. And he's going to get carted off to the nearest clinic. He's going to be in the ICU for a little bit because the Hunter in the Dark, I think, about took one of his lungs out. And Mulder is unfortunately left standing there by his lonesome with only 3 behavioral to his name. A little shy, to investigate Stevenson on his own.
What way?
Don't tell me you have a witness.
I do.
Oh gosh, you have what?
Not
Sheila won?
Sheila.
Oh no!
And that's my last two resources.
Ah, darn it! Was not anticipating that witness. Well done.
Witness.
Witnesses matter, and that right there is probably going to be that might very well spell the end of the game here. So congratulations, Jonathan, a well-timed witness, and you got yourself another question. Well done.
Is your result psychological?
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to repeat that.
Is your result psychological?
Oh, you mean physiological imbalance?
Sorry, I can't
Yeah.
really see it
It's
anymore.
not physiological imbalance. No. Well, it was an interesting investigation there. Didn't go the way I'd hoped. He lost an agent, but he still gets the question. So at this point, Jonathan, you deserve this win.
Is your X-File Dodd?
My X-File is Dodcom. And with that, Jonathan, you have won this game of X-Files CCG, the Wheel of Sealed version. Well done, my friend. So, yeah, the wheel wasn't kind to me, but I certainly found a way to work with the cards I had and made some pretty good investigations. Unfortunately, yeah, it all came down to that one witness at the very end there. I would have been able to otherwise put a stop to that last investigation, and turn would have bounced back to me. I did have some sites in my hand. I also had this site out here with the bluff on it, which, by the way, was that a true bluff?
Yes, it was.
Was a true bluff?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So it's quite possible, I might have come out on top. Unless, did you have any adversaries in your hand or something that you might have played in the next one?
Well, played the healing card, Mulder out. The next turn, I drew 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, and I could have got rid of it. I could have got its medical keyword card.
I don't think it doesn't have the keyword healing.
And that was,
Healing, medical, close, but not quite.
I
What
had
about on your deck?
three.
Which
Good
adversary? Good people, good food?
Good people, good food, and dark balls. And I couldn't play good people, good food because I had 7 conspiracy, 8. Or I could last round.
Okay. I didn't have any result sites. So 2 of your adversaries would have been no-go. You could have played good people, good food. And with those...
Yeah, I could have last turn, except I was 7 conspiracy.
Oh, yeah, because I think I did have a result site last turn.
And then I had 3 combat cards that I could.
Yeah, I might have fared okay against good people, good food, because Kosov does have the Walther PPK on her. So we might have been able to get out of that, maybe. But even with those combat cards, could any of them bring the combat cards back? Could they have been played on? Could any of them have been played on good people, good food? Not
ambush, which has to be played on subterfuge. One or
no. Ambush, no good for that one. What else? Kick?
Yeah. Kick.
Yeah. Kick.
Yeah. Martial.
Oh, no good on that.
Or a combatant thing that has been stunned.
You'd have to have stunned me in a previous one. What's the third one?
Darkness.
I thought you had 3 combat cards.
Oh, sorry. Hit and run.
Oh, that's government car. No. So, yeah, none of them would have been applicable. But I wouldn't have played a result site in the next one. So, at best, you would have been able to play good people, good food. My long-range combat would not have been I would have hit you with 7, which they have a health of, I think, 8, right? 8 or 9?
I
10?
think it's more than that. 10.
10. Okay.
10.
So, but they only have like 3.
3
they only have
damage.
like 3 damage. So they could have taken out one of my. They could have taken out Kosif at best with 3. And so, yeah, no, it sounds like I still would have won that unless you pulled like the next couple of cards in your deck would have been game changers.
Well, the next card was Sheriff Dan.
Yeah, that would have actually worked out for you because I only have 2 subterfuge. So, yeah, you would have got you would have got me on that. So, I don't have a adversary. I don't have anything that would have stopped that. Nah. Oh, there's all my conspiracy cards. I did not shuffle this very well. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Sheriff Daniels would have actually gotten me, and I would have, so it would have actually gone on a little longer. So no, I think it was destined to be your win. So congrats. That is at least, yeah, it looks like you may have won 2 games against me now, so it's not as one-sided as it has been. So Wheel of Sealed, Jonathan. That was a good one. So if anyone else is interested, anyone else in our community who is interested in doing a sealed game, if you got some sealed packs on hand, Nathan, I'm looking at you especially because I know, like Jonathan, you can basically build a fort out of X-Files CCG sealed product in your living room. Maybe not as big of a fort as Jonathan can build, but nonetheless, I know Nathan's got some sealed products. So Nathan, if you're ever interested in doing a Wheel of Sealed game, do let me know. It was a lot of fun. It was a whole lot of fun. Hadn't done a sealed matchup myself in a while because I hadn't had a lot of sealed product on hand. And actually, Jonathan, you sent me a lot of Truth is Out There product, and it turns out I didn't even have any use for it tonight because I only spun Premiere stuff. So we'll have more opportunities to do this again. And Nathan says, I will spin the Wheel of Sealed. So excellent. You and I are actually doing a recording tomorrow on your channel, Chasing the Dragon. We're going to be doing a unpacking episode of actually not X-Files CCG. We're actually Nathan's going to crack open some Magic the Gathering cards, some brand new Spider-Man Magic the Gathering card, Universes Beyond, if I'm not mistaken. Not as well versed in Magic as Nathan is, but I am very well versed in Marvel. So it's going to be a fun live discussion as Nathan cracks open this brand new set of Spider-Man Magic the Gathering cards. So check that out. I think we're looking at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is 7 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nathan, actually, he's doing another game. I don't know if you're recording it or not, Nathan. You said you got a Magic game happening earlier in the day. Is that one being recorded on your channel as well? He may be doing 2 broadcasts tomorrow, but definitely at 10 o'clock, tune into Chasing the Dragon. So we'll see some of those really cool Spider-Man cards from MTG. Lots of fun. And again, I want to thank everyone who was tuning in tonight. Nathan, Deanne, and Intruso, Brian Bankston, one of my coworkers. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for this broadcast. Again, if any of you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please be sure to investigate that subscribe button. Give the video a like, drop some comments below, and ask us questions. Because, yeah, we love to talk X-Files CCG any chance we get, don't we, Jonathan?
Absolutely.
And yeah, check out some of our communities. We got 2 X-Files CCG Facebook groups. We've got our Discord community. Can't say enough about how much fun it is being in that Discord community. All the links are in the description of this video, every video on this channel. So check those out. And yes, make sure you watch my Secrets of the X-Files CCG revealed video for the Gen Con card giveaway. Telling you, Gen Con demo cards for the X-Files CCG are very, 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 very rare. I do not have the Krychek card that Jonathan has graciously offered for this giveaway. There are 60 Gen Con cards out there. There's 60 Gen Con cards. I only have 2 of them in my collection. They are very, very hard to come by. And if you find them on eBay, they're very much being sold at a pretty penny. So this is your chance to take home a Gen Con card for free. All you got to do is subscribe to the video, or sorry, is subscribe to the channel, like the video, post a comment, and I will do that random drawing on October 2nd. And Jonathan, we've got lots more giveaways coming besides that one. Like pretty much every video that I get dropped, not the live ones, but every video that I drop is going to have some giveaway or another. Could be promo cards, could be sealed booster packs. Keep tuning in because there's lots to give away. The Gen Con card was just the opening act. It's a pretty good opening act, if I do say so. But it's not the only Gen Con card we'll be doing a giveaway for. I think, Jonathan, we have at least one more that we might be seeing as a giveaway prize later on, yes?
I think one.
Maybe one more. One more for now. We'll see. As I said, these are not as easy to come by. So, again, I want to thank Jonathan Hagy for not just availing himself for this very riveting matchup of Wheel of Sealed, but also for being my sponsor of sorts and providing some very awesome giveaway prizes for the channel. So, if you want to stay on top of that, make sure you ding that notification bell, and that way you'll be up to date on when things are happening on the channel. I try to post weekly content on here. It's not always the same day of the week because sometimes editing takes a little longer for some videos over others. So usually the videos are dropping at some point during the week, but it varies widely. So dinging that notification bell, that way you'll know exactly when a new video is being dropped. So a lot of cool ideas coming up. So stay tuned for that. Jonathan, before we sign off for the evening, did you want to point out, am I forgetting anything you want to plug?
This just points out the importance of equipment and witnesses.
Yes, witnesses matter, even whether you have manners or not. And with that, I think we'll about wrap this up. So if you need ideas for building an effective X-Files CCG Bureau deck, I've got sample deck videos here on the channel that should prove inspiring. And if you want to reach out to me for either business inquiries or if you have ideas for content that you want to see, you can email me at alieninvestigations19@gmail.com. You can also find me in any of the aforementioned X-Files CCG communities. Not hard to find. And with that, thank you for tuning in. And I'm Steven, and this is Jonathan, and we'll say goodnight.